Welcome back to the next episode of Learn to Play the Violin with me. Make sure you're tuned and then we'll get started. All right, I'm going to start the timer. Here we go. On the screen, there's a quick warm-up that we're going to do together. Whenever we play these notes, I want you to say or sing the note names as well. That'll help you remember the lines and space notes of the treble clef. First, we'll move up and down the D string, then we'll move up and down the A string. D string first. Sing the note names as you play. Let's sight read it. 1, 2, ready, play. E, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, rest. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. E, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, rest. All right, great. Let's try the same pattern, but on the open A string, the third string going down. 1, 2, ready, play. A, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, rest. All right, let's try that one more time. Make sure you're singing or saying the letter names too and memorizing what those are if you're still working on it. 1, 2, ready, play. A, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A. Great job. All right, let's look at page number 15 where we left off in Essential Elements book, Violin Book 1. We were looking at a Mozart melody. The last lesson, we learned lines 1 and 3, which happen to be the exact same. So let's use that as a review. Let's try line number 1, see what we remember for last time. Starting on open D. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Okay, let's try line number 3, which is exactly the same thing. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. All right, when I put my 3 fingers down on the D string to play G, it was a little flat, which means my 3rd finger was not high enough up on the string. So the first one sounded a little wonky, but I adjusted it for that 2nd G in a row. It makes it easier because we know the melody of this piece, so it makes it easier to identify if there's a note that's slightly off for you. Let's look at line number 2. Okay, this is the, if you're hearing this as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, this is the up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. That's line number 2. Let's try to sight read it nice and slow, starting with open A. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. You can probably guess why I made that face. See the bracket underneath connecting those 2 E's? Remember, that tells us that we don't need to lift that particular finger or those particular fingers during the duration of that bracket. So I kept that first finger down since that's how we play E, but my fingers weren't curved enough and my pointer finger was touching the A string, which is why it didn't sound. So I have to remember when I see those brackets to make sure I'm doing my fingers, the curved fingers here, and make sure that when I'm playing a string, I'm only touching that string. Remember, I'm learning along with you. So I'm definitely going to have things that I need to really focus on, maybe more than you need to. And then I'm sure you have things that you need to focus on too. Let's try line number 2. Think of something you can improve during this playing, and let's focus on that thing. I know what mine's going to be. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Wrong note. Let's try that again. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Okay, how'd it go? Feel free to pause at any point if you have something that you want to work a little bit more on before moving on. Let's try the entire piece. Number 43 on page 15, a Mozart melody. Let's do it. Nice and slow. We're in no rush. We technically have 9 minutes to finish this, which it's going to take nowhere near that. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try one more time. Think of something you want to focus on that maybe you struggled with through that piece a little bit. I'm going to focus on 2 things. Number 1, curving my fingers. So I'm still working on that. And also, for some reason today, I'm not pulling my 3rd finger up far enough. So all of my G's are flat, which means lower than the pitch they're supposed to be at. So I need to consciously think of my placement for my G whenever I'm playing G. So those are the 2 things that I'm working on. Think of yours, and let's try one more time. Tiny bit faster. 1, 2, ready, play. Now you can officially play that for all your families and friends and impress them. Let's move on to the next piece, number 44, Matthew's March. If you look at that yellow box above, this is kind of like a new development in our music reading journey. It says key signature of D. A key signature tells us what notes to play with sharps and flats throughout the entire piece. So in the key signature of D, which if you don't know how to read key signatures, I actually have shorts, so short videos on how to read key signatures. So I will put them in the comments. So check those out if you want to brush up or learn for the first time how to read key signatures. What we need to know for this is when you see 2 sharps in the key signature, you'll see an F sharp, which is the top line, and you'll see C sharp, which is the 3rd space. So what that does is when the person writing down the music, if you look at number 44, they had the key signature at the beginning of every line. So they put it there once, and then they don't have to put all the individual sharps in front of every F and every C anymore because it's in the key signature. When you see sharps or flats in a key signature, that means automatically whatever sharps or flats are in that key signature, they are played either sharp or flat. And you'll know if the person doesn't want you to play by a symbol called a natural sign, which cancels out the sharp or flat, but we don't see any in here. So instead of wasting the ink of writing every single individual sharp, they just put it at the beginning once, and then the musician playing the music knows for that entire line, and basically for the entire piece. But at the beginning of every line, they know which notes are sharp or flat. So that's what we have. So we are not changing anything about the notes we're playing or anything like that, because we already were playing all the C's sharp and the F's sharp. So now it's just written in a different way. All right, let's look at Matthew's March. We are starting with high D. So if you go to the A string, 3 fingers is the high D. Let's see. So let's try sight reading line number 1 of Matthew's March. Try it with me. Nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, I think my D when I started was a little too high. Sorry about that. Let's try that one more time. There we go. All right, let's try line number 1 one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try measure number 4. Measure number 4, the D, B, A. Here we go. D, 3 fingers. Measure 4. Ready, play. Rest. Let's try that 3 times in a row. Ready? Ready, play. D, B, A. Rest. D, B, rest. Rest. Let's try it 3 more times in a row. This time, try to, if you were looking at your hands, try to just look at the music. It's a super good habit. Something that I'm working on as well with the violin, and I've been working on for 30 years of playing the piano, is not looking at your hands. You will be a much better music reader and ultimate musician if you don't have to rely on looking at your hands. Let's try measure 4 3 times in a row. Try to just look at the music. Try not to look at your hands. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. 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 All right, let's try line number 1 again. Try not to look at your hands as much as possible. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Rest. Good. Let's move on to line number 2. We're starting with a G, which is 3 fingers on the D string. So now we're moving to the D string. Let's try this super slow. I did look a little bit earlier at this line. This one's tricky, so we're going to try sight reading it really, really slow. 1, 2, ready, play. G, G, A, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, E, A, E, D, 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 rest. So So we're jumping back and forth between the two strings, which makes this a little bit more complicated. Let's try line 2. Let's try measure 1, just measure 1, starting with G. 1, 2, ready, play. G, G, G. So a couple good skills to practice here. One, curving your fingers, because you see that bracket, which means you don't lift these 3 fingers for the G. You don't lift those, but you are moving to the next string and playing the open A. So make sure, I'm saying this to myself too, that the fingers are curved enough that you're not touching that A string. And another thing to practice is switching between the 2 strings, because we're going from the D string to the A string back to the D string. All of that's happening within that one measure. Try to do that without looking at your hands. Let's try measure 1 of line 2, and then we will stop for the day. 1, 2, ready, play. How'd you do? We are going to continue on and finish up Matthew's March next lesson. Hang on tight because we are so close. We have one more page turn before we finally get to the bow, and then it's like a whole new ball game. So for me too. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you soon.